Hey everybody, it's Red and welcome back to Highway Blossoms. Alright, then last we left off, it appears that we are potentially right about to come upon Angel's Landing. I think they said it was some kind of scenic viewpoint in Nevada. Or wherever they are, I don't fucking remember at this point. Anyway, Marina's already gone on ahead, leaving Amber back here to mull. But we'll continue forward. Following behind, I step out of the cloudy murk and into an area that offers only slightly more visibility. Nice. Pretty cool looking. Marina stands still in the center of the cliff, her hand clutched to her heart. In a very dramatic way. What should have been a bird's eye view of Zion is something but a sea of fog. Hey, seas of fog are actually very scenic. I love pictures of forest tops or mountain tops with just fog covering all the finer detail, but below them or between them. The lush greenery and full valleys are invisible. Only a few overgrown bushes and some rocky points peek out above the clouds. I was expecting it, but the sight itself really is numbing. The hollowness in my stomach, the one I've gotten so used to feeling, rears its head once again, only intensified by Marina's silence, and the expression shrouded by her bangs as she tilts her head down. Sorry. Gently she shakes her head. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. You tried to warn me. Marina, but I don't know what to say. I'm disappointed too. There were a lot of places Gramps always talked about visiting. After we settled down and kicked back for a few years, after I finish repairing the RV, after I get better. Solemn punctuation there. This place came up more than the others, though. Not just Zion, but the landing. Kept saying we were gonna hike up here, have a picnic, maybe watch the sun come up. A slight smile comes to my face as I think about him trying to make that hike. I'd have liked to see the geezer try. While I'm not a big enough sap to try and make all of my and Gramps' plans happen now, it would have been nice to see the view. With Gramps, Marina, and everything that's happened over the past few months, it just seemed fitting to make the trip. Angel's Landing. I glanced back to Marina, the hand that was clutched to her chest now stretched outwards, grasping at the empty air. A slight breeze blows through, ruffling her hair. She looks beautiful. She looks angelic. Fitting. I didn't go to church much as a kid, but she looks like someone I'd see on a stained glass window, right next to a rendition of I'm so used to correcting myself to make sure to say cavalry when I'm talking about cavalry units, that I see the word cavalry, which I'm not used to saying ever. I'm like, oh, that actually is the right usage of the word cavalry. Right next to a rendition of Calvary or Skull Hill. It's frustrating. Yeah, something here is. It's frustrating to have come this far for nothing. But is it just because of the fog? Because of Gramps? Or because of Marina? My teeth grit, grinding against each other under what feels like an unimaginable weight. Come on, let's go. I turn around and begin down the slope. There's nothing else worth seeing up here. Marina doesn't follow. No spirited footsteps trailing behind me, no speeding bullet blazing ahead. Marina, we're going. It comes out with more bite than I intended, but I don't care. I just want to get out of here now. Marina is hesitant to answer, but eventually manages to spit it out, sounding more like a question than an actual statement. I don't want to. What? I don't want to leave. Not yet, anyway. Annoyed, I turn back to her for an explanation, only to be greeted by a pleading look instead. I'm used to it by now, I know I am. But do you think we could wait a little longer, just to see if the fog clears? I don't know what it is. I respond with a blank stare. It's like she's not even talking to me. Don't be stupid. I start back down the hill, not bothering to wait for Marina this time. It's past noon. If it hasn't cleared by now, then it's not going to anytime soon. So much for not making things worse. Yeah, and you just said don't be stupid. Of course, implying that she's an idiot. Oh, hello. Aw. I nudged the fire with a stick. It doesn't do any good, though, as the logs just tumble on top of each other, smothering the already pitiful flame. Is that supposed to be symbolic? For a moment, our lot is only lit by the few remaining embers in the pit. Sighing, I grabbed the bottle of lighter fluid and squirted onto the ashes. An artificial flame roars into existence and peters to the size of a pathetic candle flicker just as quickly. I plunged the stick back into the fire and scraped the cinders from the glowing wood. Eventually, a flame catches on a charred log and grows until the pit is blazing once again. Aha! About damn time. The joy is exclusive to me, however, as Marina stays silent, staring into the fire. Want another s'more? She bounces back to life. Oh my god, yes, please! She catches herself and switches back to broodiness. I mean, sure, I guess. I suppose I'll take a smalls. I roll my eyes, but can't help smiling on the inside. I think you just heard what I said, too. No matter how hard she tries, she's still the same Marina she's always been. No matter the veneer, right? I grab a marshmallow and stick it on the end of a bent coat hanger before handing it to her. Without another word, she plops it into the fire. Meanwhile, my eyes are drawn to the neglected bag of hot dogs lying beside the chocolate and graham crackers, unopened and ignored. I bought them because I thought Marina would like the variety, but I should have known that she would go only after the marshmallows. Wait, didn't you just say chocolate, though? Yes, you said chocolate. How are you neglecting the chocolate? That's the best part. She's been devouring them. She opened the bag when we left the store, and it was half empty by the time we got back to the campsite. She clung to the bag like a security blanket the whole way. It's a miracle there are even any left. The miracle's not diabetic at this point, I guess. Shrugging, I take one of the hot dogs out of the bag and impale it on the end of my coat hanger, then put it in the fire next to Marina's. Even when we're this close to each other, there's still an air of tension. The one that's pervaded since we left Arches. Neither of us have addressed it, but the inevitability of the treasure, the thick uneasiness that hangs over us, it's suppressed, but it's definitely there. But it's gotten better since we left Angel's Landing. The snacks were a peace offering of sorts, I guess. An oblation to the gods of, well, what, Eros? Cupid? Aphrodite? I don't know. Although I was pleasantly surprised that she sat so close to me, even with the other three logs right at the fire pit. I fix my gaze on the flames. The dog is slimy, oozing with condensation that drips and sizzles in the ashes. It's a very pleasant picture, thanks. Oh god, it's on fire, fire. Marina's coat hanger whooshes over me like a spastic comet, the marshmallow now a smoldering ball of inferno. Here, give it to me. But it's on fire, Amber, fire! I can see that, just give it. She panics, squirming as her precious marshmallow burns before her very eyes. Oh, the horror, the tragedy. Alright, just don't hurt yourself, please. Frantically, she passes me the wire, biting her nails to try to blow it out. Soon the fire clears. The marshmallow, once white and fluffy, is now black and charred. Is that supposed to be metaphor? Oh, now it's ruined. Metaphor. It's no big deal. You can still eat it. Preparing the s'more, I break apart the chocolate and cracker, then squish the marshmallow between them. Hey, at least the marshmallow will kind of match the chocolate now. Ew, gross. It's all black and stuff. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Honestly, I think I might prefer it burned. Well, charring does add flavor to it in a way, you know. In a way. It adds flavor to it. As long as it's not overpoweringly burned. That's so you. It's as black as your soul, Amber. She gives a nervous laugh. Here, just try it. Just try you. I swear it's just water. Marina stares at the s'more and gulps. Fine. But only because you asked. Closing her eyes, she opens her mouth wide. Now's your chance, Amber. Wide. Open. She's thinking about it. This time it's my turn to gulp. I shuffle back. Subtly trying to avoid eye contact, and once again failing, I pop the s'more into her mouth and let it a restful sigh. Like bubblegum, she munches on it munches on it in the corner of her mouth, intently trying to dissect the flavor in her own cute way. So, her eyes grow wide in shock. It's good, right? Doesn't it give it a nice smoky flavor? Mm-hmm. It's a little bitter at first, but the marshmallow gets really crunchy. So good. I told you so. You just gotta give these things a shot. I can't believe I had my first s'more and found a way to make it better in the same day. This is your very first s'more. You poor sheltered girl. I feel like that would take most people like a bajillion years to figure out. No, just you. Boy, it took me one night. Because I got you, Amber. She's stupid, but she's adorable. Gobsmacked. Dumbfounded. They're both stupid, fancy words, but I think they work when trying to figure out the thing sitting beside me. The thing. Amber, you're kidding me. What? Your first s'more? Well, I've seen people eat them on TV and stuff before, but you have never, ever had a s'more in your entire life? Now that I think about it, I guess I haven't. That confirms it. Huh? Confirms what? You've led a sad life. You're an alien. The government has just been keeping you hidden all this time. That's why I mentioned you're Roswell. It's the only explanation. Don't make a triangles joke. The Illuminati thing would... Just don't make a triangles joke. I am not. If I'm an alien, then why do I look human? That's just a flesh suit. A disguise you can blend in. You're mean. That's mean. You can't just buy these good looks at the costume store. What's your sector ID? Is this your first time away from your home planet? Amber, stop. It's not my fault. Her face puffs out, and I have to resist the urge to poke and deflate it. If I don't quit, she may actually start pouting. I'm sorry, I'll stop. I'm tempted to squeeze one more joke out, but I decide against it as I try to hold back the snicker under my breath. Huh. I think I like you better when you're serious. She crosses her arms, turning away as she closes both eyes to block me out. Then with a grin, one eye opens. We both burst out laughing. Since the hike, the fog has climbed down the hill, enveloping the campground. You even hear it's carved out a small pocket, the breezy chill surrounding us as we take in the warm glow of the fire. It feels nice. But for real, I still can't believe this is your first time leaving home. She settles down for a bit and places her hands in her lap, teetering side to side as she looks at the sky, even though there's nothing to look at but mist. Yeah, sometimes I have trouble believing it too. Since there's so much of us, so many of us, I guess Mom and Dad can never afford to take us anywhere. That's what I thought. If her family is as big as she says, it's not like they could have just packed up and traveled like me and Gramps. You said you have 9 brothers and sisters, right? Yep, there's 9 of us, plus Mom and Dad, so 11 altogether. Jesus. Right? Everyone says our house is pretty big, but it's always been so cramped that I've never been able to tell. I've never had I had my own room. I've always had to share one with some of my sisters. My older brothers shared 2 until one went off to college. Isn't that the same brother's car got torn apart by Mariah? She laughs guiltily. Yeah, he always called it his love wagon. Lovely. If that thing was a love wagon, then my motorhome is a love palace. Oh, that's a good name for it. Oh, it will be soon. Don't even start. It should start. Eventually. Anyway, he said he wanted to get a new one when he got to Salt Lake City, so I don't think he'll be too angry. Hold on, that's in Utah too. Why didn't you tell me? The detour would have been a pain in the ass, but if you wanted to visit him, I wouldn't have minded the extra miles. Not if it was for you. Marina does a double take, and I realize I've given too much away. You had to pay for gas, though. Nice save. Marina blinks and smiles. Crisis averted, or so you think. She's not that stupid. Nah, it's okay. I want to do this without my family's help. Besides, it's only a community college. Your brother moved from New Mexico to Utah so he could attend a community college. Uh-huh. He sends me a gift every month. Last month it was a top hat. I put it right on top of my desk in my room. She pauses for a moment. Mine and my sister's room, I mean. Your family sounds about as weird as you. Really? Huh. Yeah, I guess we are. She beams, wearing the title of weird like a badge of honor. That's not a good Actually, maybe it is. I like it. Besides, Dad keeps us all in line. He's a defense lawyer, super straight-laced. You remind me of him, actually. He likes everything nice and orderly, which is bad for him because he's surrounded by us, but... She talks for a long time, chattering and laughing about her family, the smile never leaving her face. I almost get lost in it. I almost want to. For the precious minutes that she speaks, I forget the tension that shattered us since Arches, and could believe it was never there. I love that about Marina. Even when we're what with rain, or humoring truck drivers, or racing a lunatic down the highway, she never hesitates to smile. I'm pretty sure she wasn't smiling when you almost killed you, her, and Mariah, and what's his name, and I think Joseph and Tess. Pretty sure that was a look of outright horror on her face then. For her, it's always poised on the brim, waiting to shine through. I could listen all night, but she trails off only a short time later. I'm sorry. This must be boring, right? Nah. I can tell you love him a lot. It was always just me and Graham, so it's sort of interesting to see how other families work. The lot falls silent, save for the cracking flames. I brace myself for what I know is coming. Hey, Amber. What happened to your mom and dad? I stare into the fire. It pops, casting up delicate embers that fall and vanish in the dirt. I'm sorry, that was too personal. No, it's fine. They're both around, I think. Only met Dad once a long time ago. Me and Ma don't get along very well. Haven't spoken to her since I was 16. Last I heard, she was living in some trailer park in Ohio. Well, I had assumed they died in some tragic accident, but somehow I think that's actually more tragic. Being separated as opposed to them being dead. I mean, the separation, obviously, well, doesn't just imply, she pretty much flat out said it in terms of her mother, that there's no real connection to them. At least if she'd lost her parents, as horrible as that sounds, her relationship with them still might have been positive, but this is clearly a case of father, the sounds of it, left the picture, and she just couldn't remain in it herself. She, as in Amber. Is that where you live with your grandpa? Sorta. Ma always had her issues, so the court said Gramps could take care of me when I was a baby. I stifle a laugh. Not that it did any good. The geezer had the bright idea to haul me around the Midwest and East Coast for half my life. He took care of you all by himself? He must have been amazing. Try again. He was an old hippie who was stuck in the 70s and spent most of his time listening to weird music. Sounds just like you. Well, he practically raised her or something. Hey, watch it. If anything, he was more like you. And I was always cleaning up his messes, even as a little girl, even near the... I choked down a growing lump in my throat. Even near the end. Amber, it was always just the two of us, though. Us or any random old friend he wanted to see. Even when he decided to settle down in Colorado, it was just us. People would come and go, but it was always us. And then I was there for all of it. I was there for every single appointment. I was there at the hospital. I was there at the funeral. Ma didn't even bother to come to that, but I was there. And he was always there too. You really miss him, huh? My voice lowers to a whisper, raspy and dry. Yeah. Something slumps against my shoulder. Glancing down, I discover Marina's head resting against me. What are you doing? Nothing. Ah. She looks up at me. Want me to stop? Nah, keep doing it. Okay. We should turn in soon. We have a big day ahead of us. Yeah, maybe. We sit in silence for a little while, or maybe it's a long time. I can't tell. It's a nice silence, though. A comfortable one. Finally. That was incredibly sweet in so many different ways. That just... Not only in terms of their burgeoning relationship, but the extra insight into Amber's character, her relationship with her family, especially her grandfather, just building more on that. It's just awesome. I loved it. Can't really put it any more eloquently than that without ruining or stepping on my foot or adding anything superfluous. So, in any case, I think that's a good place in this episode. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode.